Yeah, now that's a good way to kick off a Saturday morning. Big round engines. Welcome back to the hangar, everybody. And before we really get started here, a few weeks back, you guys might remember a conversation that we had when we were cleaning up the test bench here. There is a P-38 over there. Have you seen? Yeah. Outside? No, it's one of the visiting planes. It's a Glacier Girl. It's one of the ones that was trapped underneath the ice that got recovered. Wow. And then I also saw this comment on that particular video, and we bought tickets to a special event that Lone Star Flight Museum was hosting for Glacier Girl, the P-38, and I took the liberty and brought the GoPro with me for that particular night, and talked to the staff there at Lone Star and was allowed to bring the GoPro in. So that was really awesome. So thank you, Lone Star Flight Museum, for that. Now, I was not able to film the whole event. I did catch some highlights, and I'm just going to start the video off with that little featurette. So here she is, everybody, Glacier Girl. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Now, before we get to the Phantom, as you guys are used to seeing every single weekend, had a little special event that the family and I attended earlier this week here at Lone Star Flight Museum. So they have a neat little program where they do a featured aircraft of the month, and this month it is a World War II P-38 Lightning that was flown in, and that's cool in and of itself, but this one's even more special. This one is named Glacier Girl, and she was one of the 8 aircraft that were trapped underneath the ice from a ferry mission back during World War II. And they're going to tell us a story about the recovery efforts and everything, and her restoration to full flight status. So we're going to go check this out. So I think you guys are going to like this. Trying to nail that landing?
Yeah. I thought, look, this plane constantly wants a beer.
There you go, go around. Nice.
Good job.
Yeah, good decision there to go around instead of trying to salvage it, man. That would have been ugly.
That would have been. Gonna try the other one, right?
There she is.
Yeah, exactly. Story comes from this side. Yeah.
I love it. I like aviation.
Attention all guests. The presentation will be starting in 10 minutes.
Thank you for sharing.
How's it going? It's so cool being so close to something that flew during the war. Wow. Now, while I'm here, I'd be remiss to not say, hey, Eagle Dynamics, how about a C-47 one day? All right, so that was a really cool presentation that we got to see from one of the crew that went out on the 1992 expedition where she was recovered from the ice. Really cool. A couple of details I'd like to share with that is this is the only P-38 that is flyable to this day that still has not only the original engines, but also the original propellers. Except for one blade that they had to replace, is still the original props. So is almost entirely original still, like when she left the Lockheed factory. So really cool opportunity to be able to see this and meet one of the crew that actually helped recover her. I'm going to leave some links in the video description for you guys to check out if you guys are interested in seeing this. And if you guys ever get the opportunity as she goes around the country on tour, be sure and stop in and see it, because that is an amazing piece of history and another aircraft I would love to see in DCS one day. All right, now one of the other things that the Flying Legends Foundation brought with them is this lovely F-4U Corsair. I'm not as certain on its history as I am that P-38 over there, but makes a lovely companion with the Lone Star's F-4U Corsair. So, good looking airplanes. All right, now back to the Phantom. Now that was a really cool event to attend, and very grateful for the opportunity to be able to bring the camera in. So thank you again to Lone Star Flight Museum. Like I mentioned in that segment, I'm going to leave links down below to check out Glacier Girl and also Lone Star Flight Museum. All right, now on to our Phantom here. Let's go check out what we got. All right, so you guys might have seen this before. This is the ground power TR. This is what creates the 28 volts that so that whenever the generator cart is plugged in there, this will make 28 volts and puts power at the generator switches, so that whenever we switch it to external, the jet will it will close a contactor in the AC power box, and the jet will take ground power. Now, we don't have any issues out of this up until that point, and shortly after we turn it on, it blows this fuse right there. This one here is just a spare fuse, but yeah, it always pops this fuse. So the AC power coming out of here, phase A right here, gets split off, goes through this, powers that. That makes 28 volts, and it passes that up to the jet. All right, so we want to make sure that this thing is working properly, so we're going to pull it. We're going to bench test it, and this is a great place to start because it's easy to get to. All right, let's get this thing out. Alright guys, so here's what we got. So this is the ground power TR. I've shown this before, but these two pins over here, pin 1 and 2, that is the AC power that's coming from the ground power plug. That's the 120 volts, 400 hertz power, which that's pins 1 and 2, which I have tested and already marked. So this is the primary side of the transformer, and very low resistance if you put the meter on it, and I got about 6 ohms. Also tested to make sure that I didn't have any resistance from this side to this side, and that read open, so that's good. It's not this transformer rectifier did not get damaged in any way that I can tell by testing. One of the things that we wanted to verify was the pins on the DC side. So you can see here on the secondary side feeds through these diodes, so we have our DC output. It's 28 volts and up to 1 amp. But we want to make sure this side is correct, because none of these terminals are numbered on coming out of this thing. So I have it marked off with the tape for DC, and once we verify polarity, and if you guys are hearing some noise in the background, that's the hangar behind us being opened up. But I'm going to hook this thing up to our ground power source, power it up, and meter the output, and we can verify that this thing is one, producing the right voltage, and also verify the polarity of the output wires. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, guys, here's how we got this set up. Got the ground power TR. We got it hooked up to AC power, both neutral and phase A. It really doesn't matter which one I hook these up to, but since it's tied to phase A in the jet, might as well hook it up right here. So phase A it is. And I got the meter set up for DC and already clamped off and separated so that I can meter the output of this thing and make sure it's proper and in the right polarity. And to do this, just like last week, got the NC8, and up there's a T6 Texan. Nice. Now I'm glad you. Oh, the lighting is horrible. There we go. Now I'm glad you Navy guys are really getting a kick out of this NC8, and I actually enjoy operating this thing. It's not often you get to see a Detroit diesel these days, and it's awful fun and makes a ton of noise too. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that fired up and let's do this. Now in the meantime, back here, got Crew Chief Al is hanging that fuel filter back on the right engine. All right, so let's get this thing fired up. And also find a set of earmuffs. All right, now that was a successful test, and more to the point, yes, it read 32 volts, so just keep in mind that it is getting direct power. It's not having to travel through all the wires first, so there's no voltage drop from that, and this thing is not loaded, so that is a standing voltage with no load. So 32 volts DC, I'll take it. That means that this is fully functional, and more importantly, I can label the wires. So this is our positive DC, and that is terminal number 3. This is our DC negative, and this is also number 4. Awesome. Really happy that we got this test bench. So that just eliminated that as a question mark as to why this nice lady doesn't like having ground power. So that eliminates that as a variable. Now we can start looking at stuff up there, like up there, up in door 19, the DC bus relay, the essential bus relay. And also, since the seats are taken out, I can go ahead and pull both transformer rectifiers. We know that the right one does work because that just came back from the rework shop. I got to pull that one out to get to the left and pull that. I'm going to bench test that also, make sure that that is producing 28 volt DC. If that isn't, then we got another bad TR. Hopefully not, but you never know. We won't know until we bench test it, so eliminate one thing at a time. We're eventually going to tackle this and find our problem, because we need that power to be operable in order for us to swing the gears properly, or just to swing them at all. And so once we have a functional electrical system and the struts resealed, then we can move on, swing the gear, make sure everything's working properly, bring her down on her feet, and move on. And that clears the path to do engine runs, something I'm really looking forward to. But the sooner we can take care of this correctly, we can get to the engines, and I'm really looking forward to that. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed the little bit with Glacier Girl and our continuing electrical work here. Anyway, Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.